Welcome to episode 24 of your CYSA Plus Prepcast. Today's topic is one of the most important and technical areas of cybersecurity operations: encryption and traffic security monitoring. Together, these two domains provide the backbone for securing data in transit, detecting covert threats, and safeguarding sensitive communications against unauthorized access. Cybersecurity analysts encounter encrypted data on a daily basis, and their ability to understand how encryption works, how it is implemented, and how to monitor traffic without compromising privacy is a crucial skill set. Whether you are securing an HTTPS session or analyzing encrypted traffic flows for malicious patterns, your fluency with encryption protocols and monitoring tools will directly impact your effectiveness as an analyst and your performance on the CYSA Plus exam. Let's begin with a clear definition of encryption. Encryption is the process of converting readable data, also known as plain text, into an unreadable format called ciphertext. This transformation is performed using mathematical algorithms and cryptographic keys, making the data unintelligible to unauthorized parties. Encryption ensures the confidentiality of communications, and when combined with other techniques, it also helps protect data integrity and authenticity. Encryption can be applied to data at rest, such as files stored on a disk, or to data in transit, such as information moving across a network. The exam will expect you to recognize when encryption should be used and how it is applied in different contexts. One of the most commonly used forms of encryption is symmetric encryption. In symmetric encryption, the same key is used to both encrypt and decrypt the data. This method is efficient and fast, making it suitable for securing large volumes of data, such as files, emails, or entire disk partitions. Algorithms such as the Advanced Encryption Standard are widely adopted for this purpose. Analysts must understand key management in symmetric systems, particularly the challenges of key distribution. If the key is intercepted, the confidentiality of the data is compromised. You may see exam questions that ask how to securely exchange symmetric keys or how to recognize weaknesses in their implementation. Asymmetric encryption operates differently. It uses a pair of keys, one public and one private. The public key is used to encrypt data, while the private key is used to decrypt it. This model allows secure communication without needing to share a secret key in advance. RSA and elliptic curve cryptography are two of the most common asymmetric algorithms used today. Analysts should understand key pair usage, certificate validation, and public key infrastructures. For instance, if someone encrypts a message with your public key, only you can decrypt it with your private key. This concept is at the heart of secure email systems and digital signatures. Cryptographic hashes also play a central role in cybersecurity. Unlike encryption, hashing is a one-way process. It converts input data into a fixed-length string of characters that serves as a unique fingerprint for the data. Analysts use hashing to verify the integrity of files, confirm that data has not been tampered with, and validate digital signatures. Algorithms like SHA-256 and SHA-3 are considered secure and widely used. Hashing is also used in password storage, where a system stores the hash of a password instead of the password itself. On the exam, be ready to identify when to use hashing and how to interpret hash values. Public key infrastructure is a comprehensive system used to manage public keys and digital certificates. PKI involves certificate authorities, digital certificates, and key revocation mechanisms. Analysts must understand how certificates are issued, how their authenticity is verified, and how expired or compromised certificates are revoked. Certificates are commonly used in HTTPS sessions, VPN tunnels, and email encryption. Analysts need to monitor for expired certificates, untrusted root authorities, or certificates used in phishing or man-in-the-middle attacks. The exam will test your understanding of PKI roles, certificate validation paths, and how to manage trust relationships. Transport layer security is the protocol most commonly used to secure data in transit across the Internet. It protects web sessions, email traffic, and API communication by encrypting data at the transport layer. Analysts must understand the TLS handshake process, including how the client and server negotiate cipher suites, exchange certificates, and establish secure sessions. Weaknesses in TLS configurations, such as the use of deprecated versions or insecure cipher suites, create opportunities for attackers to eavesdrop or manipulate data. You may be asked to evaluate TLS configuration settings or recommend how to secure a system using updated TLS versions. SSL/TLS inspection is a technique used by analysts to inspect encrypted network traffic. Since most modern malware communicates over encrypted channels, inspecting this traffic becomes essential for effective threat detection. SSL/TLS inspection typically involves a proxy or security appliance that intercepts and decrypts the traffic before re-encrypting it and forwarding it to the destination. This allows analysts to scan traffic for malware, data leakage, or policy violations. Analysts must understand the configuration and ethical implications of traffic decryption. On the exam, you may encounter questions about inspection technologies or how to implement decryption without violating privacy policies. Balancing visibility and privacy is a major consideration in SSL/TLS inspection. While decryption allows for effective monitoring, it also creates potential risks to user privacy and performance. Analysts must configure inspection rules carefully, excluding sensitive applications like banking or healthcare from decryption unless there is a compelling security reason. Organizations must also comply with regulations concerning user consent and data protection. These topics may be addressed in questions about policy configuration, performance trade-offs, or legal compliance in traffic monitoring. Encryption key management is a critical area often overlooked in cybersecurity strategies. The security of any encrypted system depends heavily on how its keys are generated, stored, and protected. Analysts must ensure that strong key generation methods are used, that keys are stored securely using hardware modules or protected directories, and that old keys are rotated and destroyed properly. Weak or reused keys can render encryption useless. You might be asked to evaluate a key management scenario and identify flaws that could lead to unauthorized decryption or data exposure. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are more security courses on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Now that we've laid the foundation for encryption fundamentals and techniques, let's transition to traffic security monitoring, the other half of today's topic. Monitoring network traffic is one of the most vital tasks for a cybersecurity analyst. It involves detecting suspicious behavior, identifying policy violations, and intercepting indicators of compromise as they traverse the network. In today's complex environments, encrypted traffic is now the default, not the exception. This makes traffic monitoring both more critical and more challenging. Analysts must use a combination of monitoring tools, traffic analysis techniques, behavioral analytics, and threat intelligence to identify and investigate potentially malicious activity in real time. Traffic monitoring begins with understanding the flow of data across the network. Analysts must observe communication between internal systems, between users and cloud services, and between endpoints and external domains. Visibility into these flows provides the context needed to detect abnormal connections, excessive data transfers, or the use of unauthorized protocols. Common tools used to analyze traffic include intrusion detection systems, intrusion prevention systems, deep packet inspection appliances, and SIM platforms. Each tool offers different layers of visibility and control. The CYSA Plus exam will expect you to recognize which tools are appropriate for different types of monitoring and to evaluate detection strategies based on available telemetry. Intrusion detection systems are designed to passively monitor traffic for patterns that match known attack signatures or behavioral anomalies. Signature-based detection compares network traffic to a database of known threats, while anomaly-based detection establishes baselines and flags deviations. Intrusion prevention systems take this a step further by not only detecting threats, but also blocking them. Analysts must configure IDS and IPS platforms carefully, adjusting sensitivity, tuning rule sets, and avoiding false positives. On the exam, be prepared to interpret IDS alerts, evaluate their relevance, and choose appropriate response actions. DPA-CAT inspection provides more granular visibility into network packets. It examines both the headers and payloads of traffic, identifying application-level data that may contain malicious code or policy violations. DPA is especially useful for detecting data exfiltration, command and control traffic, and unauthorized file transfers. However, DPA's effectiveness is reduced when dealing with encrypted payloads, which are unreadable without SSL/TLS inspection. Analysts must understand how to configure DPI, what traffic types it can analyze, and how it integrates with other monitoring systems. Questions on the exam may require you to select the right tool for inspecting specific traffic types or to identify gaps in DPI coverage. Effective monitoring also involves analyzing traffic metadata. This includes elements such as source and destination IP addresses, ports used, protocol types, session durations, and byte counts. Metadata analysis can reveal trends, detect scanning activity, and identify abnormal behaviors like beaconing or lateral movement. Analysts often use tools like NetFlow, SFlow, or Zeek to collect and analyze this information. These tools provide summaries of traffic behavior that can highlight deviations from baseline patterns. For example, a workstation that suddenly initiates multiple outbound connections to unusual IP addresses may be compromised and attempting to communicate with a command and control server. Encrypted traffic presents a growing challenge for analysts. As more applications adopt HTTPS, traditional monitoring methods become less effective. While SSL/TLS inspection enables decryption of selected streams, it cannot be applied universally due to privacy, performance, and regulatory concerns. Analysts must therefore decide which traffic to decrypt, how to manage certificates, and how to monitor encrypted sessions without full payload access. Behavioral indicators, such as connection frequency, packet size uniformity, or timing patterns, can still reveal useful signals even when the content is encrypted. The exam may test your understanding of how to approach monitoring in heavily encrypted environments and how to choose the best strategy for visibility. Behavioral analytics adds another layer of sophistication to traffic monitoring. Instead of relying solely on rules or signatures, behavioral systems learn what normal activity looks like and flag deviations. This includes monitoring for indicators such as unusual login times, new communication paths, or changes in application behavior. Behavioral systems are especially valuable for detecting insider threats and zero-day attacks, where predefined signatures may not exist. Analysts must validate anomalies carefully to avoid chasing false positives. On the exam, you may encounter scenarios where behavioral patterns are presented and asked to identify whether the activity represents a security concern. Real-time monitoring is crucial for rapid detection and response. Alerts generated by IDS, SIMs, or endpoint monitoring tools must be triaged and investigated immediately. Analysts use correlation engines to link alerts across different data sources, building a clearer picture of the threat. For example, a suspicious DNS request might be correlated with an endpoint process execution and a failed authentication attempt. Real-time analysis reduces dwell time, limits lateral movement, and enhances containment strategies. Be prepared on the exam to analyze alert data, correlate events, and choose response actions based on real-time monitoring outcomes. Threat intelligence integration significantly improves the quality of monitoring. By combining traffic analysis with external intelligence feeds, analysts can identify known malicious indicators faster. Threat feeds provide data about malicious IP addresses, domains, file hashes, and attacker techniques. When these are matched against observed traffic, analysts gain actionable context. For example, an outbound connection to a known phishing domain or a download of a file with a flagged hash can trigger an immediate investigation. The CYSA Plus exam may include questions about how to integrate threat intelligence into your monitoring tools and how to act on enriched alert data. Improving monitoring practices is an ongoing process. Analysts must routinely review detection rules, update threat intelligence sources, calibrate alert thresholds, and evaluate the effectiveness of correlation logic. Threat actors evolve, so monitoring systems must evolve as well. This includes retiring outdated rules, incorporating machine learning techniques, and expanding visibility into new platforms such as cloud services and remote work environments. Analysts should also conduct post-incident reviews to assess monitoring effectiveness. Questions on the exam may focus on optimizing monitoring strategies or identifying shortcomings in current configurations. Finally, documentation is essential to traffic security monitoring. Analysts must record configurations, incident timelines, alert investigations, and containment actions. These records support audits, incident response planning, and team knowledge sharing. Documentation should be clear, consistent, and updated regularly. Well-documented monitoring policies ensure that analysts can respond quickly and that organizations can maintain compliance with industry standards and regulatory requirements. The exam may include documentation scenarios, asking what information should be captured following a detection event, or how to prepare reports based on monitoring activities. To summarize, traffic security monitoring complements encryption by providing the tools and practices analysts need to observe, detect, and respond to suspicious activity. While encryption protects data from prying eyes, it also complicates visibility. By mastering tools like IDS, DPI, and SIMs, applying behavioral analysis, and integrating threat intelligence, analysts maintain visibility without compromising security or privacy. These techniques are indispensable for real-time threat detection and long-term forensic analysis. Mastering them will prepare you not only for the CYSA Plus exam, but also for the fast-paced demands of real-world cybersecurity operations. Thanks for listening. To learn more about cybersecurity, please visit baremetalcyber.com. There you will find best-selling books, videos, and even more free cybersecurity training courses. Please subscribe to the Prepcast and our various podcasts. And thanks for listening.